I came to Wheaton today to a house built in 1898 at the Chicago Golf Club. This is Jeff Dean, who has lived here since 1994. Jeff, you're the owner as well as the seller.
Hi, Dennis. Yes, that's correct. I'm the owner and the realtor.
And the man who scraped and painted and did all the work on it.
16 long years, I rehabbed this home. It's my fourth one.
That's terrific. You did a great job. We'll see when we go inside. But first, tell me a little bit. I said it was built in 1898, but there's more to the story than that.
Right. It was built for one of the 12 original founders of Chicago Golf by Jarvis Hunt, who is a well-known architect in the area. The home used to own all of the ground between here and the golf course, something like 40 acres. It's about a quarter mile to a half mile now down to the golf course.
And all that is now filled with younger homes.
It is, but at one time, and actually I have all the plat work, at one time this home owned it all.
Gosh, what an estate that must have been.
It was huge.
Boy, so my guests would have come, you said the train station was only about a quarter mile away in the other direction.
Right, the original train station was actually shorter, a couple blocks away, because the Prairie Path, which is right 2 houses away, used to be the train track that came out to this other station.
Oh, wow.
All long since removed.
So then they come in on the train, or I, Mr. Strobel, come in on the train and we get to this house.
Jump in your carriage, horse and buggy, and come on over.
Wow. And we see these kinds of things. You have so many wonderful details in this house. I mean, I can imagine it in its period, but it looks good now, and that's partly because of the work you've done.
I refinished every room in the entire house with one exception upstairs, the library.
Terrific. And there are several things you've said you like about it. One is these large windows.
Well, the whole home gives you a feeling of expanse because of the high ceilings. These are 11-foot ceilings with the original open architectural beams. But as we go through each room, you'll see there's multiple oversized windows on each side of every room. Right. So it makes it nice and bright, which is different than most old homes.
It really feels like a summer house, though you have this very impressive fireplace that you can imagine sort of at Christmas time, that sort of thing.
We spend many nights in front of this fireplace.
Have you? But in the summer, this is the place to be, right? Because we'd have golf, and you've got the big trees around.
Yeah, and the home, as you said, was built as a summer home. And it's really in its glory in the summertime, what with the huge screen porch we'll see in a moment, two-tiered deck in the back, and then there's quite a large backyard. Actually used to be a tennis court when I bought the house, but I've since taken it all out and made it a yard.
Oh, wow. Now beyond us here is the dining room, and then again, this room looks like it's period. I mean, it's got the beams and that sort of thing, but you did a lot of work, right?
I did. I refinished this entire room again, but it has a lot of the same features as the living room, the open architectural beams. Right. This is all hand-painted anaglypta on the upper walls. I painted it. I'm a glutton for punishment.
This is all hand-painted?
Yes.
Wow. Now this is a nice family room. It's not something we find in an old house.
No, and actually this used to be 2 rooms. There was a wall running right down the middle. This side was the servant's dining room. This side was a fancy butler's pantry.
Oh.
You'll note on this side is a big triple picture window. This side used to be the same. But somewhere along, I think it was in the 1960s, somebody removed this window and added this beautiful stone fireplace.
Nice. So what they did is break down the formality of the front of the house, get something informal in a place where we're really not going to be using servants' rooms anymore.
Exactly. And that also explains the 2 doors going into the kitchen, because this used to be 2 rooms. But beyond here we have the kitchen, which I redid last year. It's about a year old now. Beyond that is the breakfast room, which I've also redone. And then beyond that is everything I added to the house, which is a step-down breezeway, heated and cooled, that will take you out to the deck, to the driveway, or to the heated 3-car garage.
Oh, nice. Now, one of your big changes was here in the staircase, right?
Yeah, I'm now standing on the landing of the front staircase, which I totally opened up. It used to be that this ceiling came all the way out. There was a solid wall here, no banister. But I wanted to take advantage of this turret. So I opened it all up so that now you can enjoy it.
I am just astonished that this turret was really only visible, or the interior of the turret was only visible when you came down the stairs. It wasn't living space. It's so beautiful.
But remember, homes built in the late 1800s, the upstairs was private space.
Yeah.
The public was down here. This was the dividing line.
And so my guests would just never have seen this.
Coming here is the master bedroom.
Which is one of how many?
There are 4 bedrooms in the house in total.
Okay.
But the original owners, it was a man, his wife, with no children. So you have his bedroom, which we're standing in, her bedroom, which we'll go to next, which are both quite grand bedrooms. The other 2 are smaller, simply because they were the servants' rooms.
And they're in the other part of the L.
They are. They're in the back half of the house, and the back stairs go from those rooms. But between these 2 rooms, which we'll get to, is now a library. Used to be, I believe, a sitting room, a dressing room. That's where the husband and wife might meet.
Oh, that's great. And we have a bathroom off the other end.
Correct. Over here you have the master bath. One of its Biggest features is a 6x6 shower with 3 different shower heads, all made out of slate. This is my favorite room in the house. As you can see, there's screening on all 4 walls, so you catch every single breeze. But you're able to overlook the front yard. I'm on a very short private cul-de-sac here, so it's quiet. But then it's also overlooking all of the backyard. So it's just the perfect place to spend a summer evening.
Oh yeah, you've got the awnings to roll down, you've got the beadboard ceiling.
Yep.
And is this the condition the ceiling was in?
Actually, this is. Someone must have refinished it along line. I did not do that.
Yeah.
But the floors, the walls, everything else I've done.